Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Yeah, it was slightly warmer out this afternoon, but it'll be a different story tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. We're expecting another very cold morning in the single digits. When we say warm afternoon, though, Rachel, I don't know. It's not like this is go outside and have a picnic weather.
We just said warmer.
A little warmer.
Warmer.
Yeah, I mean, 33 felt like 50 today because it is just so much milder than it has been the last couple of weeks. So we still have a weather impact alert in effect for some cold mornings coming up tomorrow morning and Friday morning. Once again, we're looking at single-digit low temperatures and near to sub-zero wind chills. So what do you need to know? Again, if you're dressing appropriately for the cold, then it's no longer dangerous. But if you work outside, always best to kind of move it closer to the afternoon when temperatures will start to rebound. But we also have a weather impact alert all weekend long, and this cold will be of a different beast. We're looking at high temperatures in the teens, low temperatures below zero, and wind chills that'll be up to 30 below zero, which is wild. So just put that in the back of your mind when you're starting to think about what you're doing this weekend. Temperatures right now are in the teens and 20s. Overnight lows will be right around zero as we head towards daybreak tomorrow, but closer to 10 for the Connecticut shoreline, 5 for Meriden, and 8 for an overnight low in Waterbury. After a cold start, though, here's that rebound to that warm afternoon. Highs will be in the lower 30s inland, above freezing or just barely, and mid-30s for the Connecticut shoreline. We're going to talk about the chance for a little bit of light snow and that harsh cold returning for the weekend coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. The state's cold weather protocol has been extended again, this time through February 10th. If you need transportation to a shelter or other resources, all the information is at 211ct.org or by calling 211.
Breaking news tonight, North Haven crews are on the scene of yet another water main break near Ridge Road and Westview Road. Drivers are urged to use caution, expect delays, and consider alternate routes while crews work to repair that damage. I've lost count.
Oh, there's too many to count at this point. There's been a lot.
So many.
Well, a transformer fire affected many people in one Hartford neighborhood today.
And now one nonprofit will go without its space for a while. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot spoke with the organization's president.
A reentry program on Willis Street was directly impacted by a transformer fire. The nonprofit's president said this is devastating.
It's heartbroken. Like, it's a lot of years that we took to build this and just to see it go up in flame. But, you know, in the scripture it says, no weapon could prosper, right? That's where we at, right?
Edward Andrews is the president and CEO of SCRIP, or the Second Chance Reentry Initiative program. He created the program after he got out of prison.
When I came home from serving 22 years, I saw there was a gap out here. The gap was everybody is, in a rush to get your, employment or some type of training, but nobody's dealing with the internal work.
The program has been around since 2019.
We do internal work with guys and girls who's coming home from prison, and we do internal work whereas we address trauma.
Something he says is important before people hunt for a job or secure housing. He says hundreds of people have gone through his program, like John Ara.
It's like a second home to me. Since I graduated, I still come back and I still help out. And just seeing it like this is heartbreaking.
Ara says he found out about the transformer explosion on his phone. Andrews had just left the building, but employees inside told him what it sounded like.
Big bang, they caught me. And then, people thought it was gunshots and, the triggers. That's what happened.
I'm shocked because, to hear that there was an explosion, I mean, it was like, what? Nah, I thought it was a joke. I had to look on my phone and look it up.
Fire officials say around 1 o'clock Monday afternoon, the transformer failed and then caught on fire and exploded. 500 people in the area lost power, but it was restored within an hour. The second floor window at Scrip is now boarded up and there is still soot on the brick building. Andrew says one thing is for certain, they won't stop helping people.
So this campus right here, we got many venues because of the owner of the campus. So we got other spots. We ain't gonna let this stop us.
Eversource and fire marshals are still working to find out what caused that transformer to blow up. In Hartford, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
And a fire in New Haven damaged a multi-family home early this morning. Smoke and flames poured from the roof of the two-story building on Fulton Terrace just before 6 a.m. The fire department says the fire started in the attic. Firefighters cut holes in the roof to reach the flames and bring that fire under control. Crews were on scene for about an hour and 20 minutes. One firefighter suffered a shoulder injury after slipping on the ice. The man who works across the street says he feels for the family displaced and hopes they can rebuild quickly.
This time of year, everybody's even struggling just to keep warm with this weather, so it's good that everybody's got out all right and is taken care of at this point. Hopefully they can rebuild and get those people back in there pretty soon.
4 people live in the home and they all made it out safely. They are already being helped by the Red Cross. And crews put out another fire this morning, this one in Lebanon. The fire started at a house near Olenek and Scenic Road. The Lebanon Fire Department says the fire was in the chimney and it was quickly put out. We're still working to find out if anyone was hurt.
A man's been convicted of murdering a Vernon Motel owner over the price of a swimming pool pass. This happened in 2021. Alvin Waugh and his girlfriend stayed at the Motel 6 in late June. Evidence shows the girlfriend got upset with Zayshawn Chandray over the $10 swimming pool pass. Court documents say Chandray then asked them to leave the motel, and that's when Waugh grabbed a homemade gun from his room, shot the owner 11 times, and then ran off. Waugh's scheduled to be sentenced in April.
State police are looking for a person they say drives 2 different cars and switches the license plates back and forth weekly. They say every morning around 6:45, the driver heads west on Route 109 through Washington to New Milford. Police also say the person drives recklessly and passes cars and school buses. On one occasion, troopers tried to stop the driver who was going so fast the pursuit had to be called off quickly. The driver was last seen in a green Subaru Legacy with a Florida plate 61931X. The red Jeep has an unknown New York plate. If you have any information, you are asked to contact state police.
We have an update on New Britain's cybersecurity incident from last week. The city says they were bringing systems back online this past weekend. Investigators are figuring out which parts of the city's network infrastructure were impacted. The process, they're saying, will be a phased recovery. City leaders say while there have been impacts to internal communications, there have been limited interruptions. Officials say people should have confidence that services will be provided. Several students in the Ledges Residence Hall at Quinnipiac University have tested positive for norovirus, which is a highly contagious stomach virus. The university is urging students with symptoms to stay home, hydrate, and practice good hand hygiene while officials work to limit the spread.
I've heard stories about how the bathrooms were being closed because there was so much, sickness in there. Most of Ledges had to be closed down because there were so many people getting sick left and right.
The university has not released an exact number of cases, but says students can seek care through student health services if symptoms worsen or continue.
Electricity is out at a school in Suffield. Students were bused down Mountain Road to another school to resume class this afternoon. Fox 61's Tim Latow talked to parents as they picked up their kids.
Monday morning got off to a rocky start at Spalding School with no power or heat. But after students got relocated here to McAllister Intermediate School, parents say pickup was both smooth and efficient.
Gosh, they probably don't have power, and I hope she's warm enough,
A cold morning at Spalding School kept students bundled up indoors after a power outage took the heat with it.
My son did tell me that I got a little cold in the cafeteria, so it's probably a good thing they were able to move over.
Elementary students were bused down the road to McAllister Intermediate School to finish the afternoon. Mom of 2, Jasmine Scuderi, was uneasy about how pickup was going to work, but says she was grateful to get a helpful notification.
As far as being concerned, where's my kid at? Where is he gonna go? How am I gonna pick him up? Things like that, but they notified us as soon as they could.
A repair van was at Spalding Monday afternoon, but district officials have not yet said if students will return to Spalding Tuesday. The pickup line at McAllister was a long one, but Scuderi says an organized system kept the process efficient.
Went kind of smooth. I expected it to be a little bit more of a traffic jam, but thankfully it wasn't too bad at all.
Pickup was even easier for Sarah Kitson, as both of her kids finished the school day in the same heated building.
It actually works great for me because I have one in this school and one in that school, so I usually have to go into one line and wait.
And all after-school programs were also held here at McAllister. In Suffield, Tim Latow, Fox 61.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has announced an immediate change for federal officers in Minneapolis. Noem says body cameras are now being deployed to every officer there, effective immediately. She added, as funding allows, the body camera program will be expanded nationwide. We'll continue to track when and where that expansion could happen next. Witness testimonies will be heard this week on Capitol Hill against ICE and Border Patrol agents. Among the speakers are the brothers of Renee Good, Brent and Luke Granger. Good was shot and killed while behind the wheel of her car by an ICE agent in early January. Senator Richard Blumenthal believes the witness testimony will provide greater insight into ICE's tactics.
The kind of factual basis that we need for these hearings will be laid out dramatically and graphically from victims who will come from across the country to talk about the shootings and the physical brutality that they have seen and suffered.
Lawmakers who are negotiating a bipartisan spending bill last week separated DHS funding from the $1.2 trillion budget to avoid a widespread government shutdown. DHS will be funded through next week. If funding for the department isn't approved by then, DHS could shut down.